Have you made up your mind yet? Wherever you live, whoever you vote for, one of these two men will be Prime Minister in a week's time. Tonight for the next hour, Boris Johnson and Jeremy Corbyn will debate the future of our country.
We have a deal. It's a wonderful deal. We're coming out on January the 31st if we can get a working majority, and I'm afraid, listening to Mr Corbyn, it's absolutely clear that what would happen next year is there'd be a period of negotiation about this mystery deal led by somebody in the Labour Party that we can't yet identify, since Mr Corbyn doesn't believe in the deal himself. It would then be put to another referendum to the people of this country. Parliament, our country, would spend a whole year more, probably more, locked in debate about Brexit, when what people want to do is move on and focus on the issues facing the people.
Jeremy Corbyn.
And that's what we can do immediately.
And Mr Johnson will spend at least 7 years negotiating with the USA on access to our public services, on the price of medicines in Britain, on the access to our National Health Service. And he knows he can't get a deal quickly with the USA because of the way in which the US political system works. And so what he will do is walk out of a relationship with the EU into a relationship with nobody. And that is where the chaos will come.
Well, let me just make one point. I do find it slightly curious, to say the least, Nick, to be lectured about the union between Great Britain and Northern Ireland by a man who all his life, political life, has campaigned to break up that union and actually supported for 4 decades the IRA in their campaign violently to destroy it. I must say I find it a curiosity.
Jeremy Corbyn, what's your
How
answer to
about
that?
the Prime Minister showing a degree of honesty about the arrangements he's actually made with Northern Ireland? He spoke at a DUP conference and said there would be no restrictions whatsoever. We now know there are restrictions. He should and could have said that at the time. And so it is a question of openness on all of this.
But being open, he says, you've supported people who are opposed to the union your whole life. You don't even believe
what
in the
I've
United
done
Kingdom.
is always wanted to see a peace process in Northern Ireland, and that is exactly what we've got. And thank you to the Labour government that negotiated it after 1996.
Now, gentlemen, briefly, are you still claiming that the NHS is up for sale? Because your document doesn't seem to show any such thing.
Well, read the documents that were discussed in secret, and the government refused to release them, between themselves and the US administration, about access to public services and the extension of the life of patents on medicines, which would increase medicine costs in this country. Okay. President Trump has said many times people pay too little for US medicines around the world. That's the kind of agenda the Prime Minister wants to get involved with. That's the kind of deal they're trying to make with the USA.
Boris Johnson, he says you want to sell the NHS.
I have to say, this is pure Bermuda Triangle stuff. We've heard it time and time again from the Labour Party during this election campaign. We'll be hearing about Little Green Men next. I believe very passionately in I use the NHS, I love it. It's one of the most incredible things about this country. It is admired around the world. The central idea that if any of us get sick, all of us take care of them. It's a fantastic thing. Now, we believe in an NHS free at the point of use, and under no circumstances will we sell it off to anybody.
Socialism or capitalism? Jeremy Corbyn.
Socialism carried out in a democratic way in this country, in Scandinavia and other places, has raised the living standards of the very poorest. And it was the post-war Labour government that did massively to improve the living standards of the poorest working class communities in this country. And our Labour government will do the same again.
And I would say that it is one nation conservatism, which understands the vital importance of a dynamic market economy as the only way in which you can pay for fantastic public services and for giving and for looking after the poorest and neediest in our society. That is the balance and symmetry at the heart of what I'm trying to achieve with this government.